Time now for our rants and raves of the week, starting with you, Dan.
I have a rant for Digital First Media, which ended up winning the bankruptcy sweepstakes to buy the Boston Herald this week. It had thought to be teed up for Gatehouse Media. Now, Gatehouse is no day at the beach. They certainly would have imposed some significant cuts on the Herald. But Digital First is really known as the bottom of the bottom feeders. 2 data points about Digital First. They recently told people at the Fitchburg Enterprise and Sentinel and Enterprise, which they own, that they were going to close the newsroom and everybody can work out of their houses. The other thing is they own they own the San Jose Mercury News, a once great paper that had 440 reporters back in the day. Under Digital First, it's down to about 40. So this was not a good week for the Herald, its employees, or its readers.
Adam.
I'd like to rant quickly about Politico, which ran a guest contributor piece recently titled, "What If You Could Get Your Own Immigrant?" It has since had the title changed, but the basic conception was, you know, what if we made it possible for, say, John Kelly, you got a business you want to run out of your house. What if you could bring over your very own immigrant to live in your basement? Maybe you pay him $5 an hour, you know, less than minimum wage, but more than they'd make at home. Wouldn't that be super? Because ordinary people would see the benefits of immigration. It was essentially a pitch for the creation of this subclass here in the U.S.
Economy.
Politico has gone, yeah, exactly, slave economy. They've changed the headline. They invited the authors to respond to criticisms. They have not taken themselves up. They haven't taken Politico up on the invite. If I'd known, I would have told you. Yeah.
Okay. Allie.
I have a rave for William G. Douglas. He's a longtime reporter for McClatchy, which is a big newspaper group. And he has forever been writing a popular blog called The Color of Hockey. Speaking of Olympics, there's actually a black man, you know, on the hockey team and on some other teams around the world. So he's just been writing about it in the fullness of even its smallness to tell us all the background of the people and why it's important. And I commend him. This is in addition to his full-time job with McClatchy. He also is the co-host of the Majority and Minority podcast. And the New York Times gave him a shout-out for his Olympic press box coverage. So, a rave for him.
Good. John?
I have a rave for Russell Pergament and Peter Gelzinis. 2 members of a group of distinguished journalists will be inducted into the New England Newspaper and Press Association Hall of Fame at an event next Friday night. Gelzinis, I think Herald readers know, the longtime kind of voice of the city columnist, a big city daily columnist who actually lived in the city, and that always added a distinctive flavor to his work. And Russell Pergament's a mentor and former boss of mine who that created the Tab newspapers, injected the sometimes sleepy, with all due respect, world of weekly community newspapers with a real edge, and taught me the most important thing I ever learned about political reporting, that periodically you've got to whack the politicians upside the head with a sharp elbow or they will never respect you.
All right, well, finally tonight I have a rave for Jack Hines. He, of course, was the dean of Boston Television, who died this week at the age of 88. I had the pleasure of working with Jack when I first came to Channel 5 in, when was it, in the late 70s. He was still there when I was doing that. Jack was just the ultimate gentleman. I know you knew him too well, John.
At 56, yeah.
And of course, when he was signing off of Channel 56 in December of 2006, it was really kind of an angry tirade about the dissolution of that newscast, but he even found some humor in that last newscast.
I've always liked television because it's indoor work and no heavy lifting. Yeah, we've got another 50 years to go.
Good for you. Jack Hines. What a pleasure to work with him, wasn't it?
Good guy.
Good guy.
Great guy.
Good guy.